So earlier today, I was flipping through Flies of the Northwest, published in 1998 by the Inland Empire Fly Fishing Club. And I found a cool pattern in here that I'd never tied or fished before, but it caught my eye because it was very similar to a pattern that did well for me last week in the Smoky Mountains. It's almost like a hair wing, but it's not. It uses pheasant tail fibers and not tied as a collar, but tied in as clumps and kind of spun around the front of the hook. So if you saw the thumbnail and thought of a carry special, well, it is pretty close to that, and that's what I was using one day on the Raven Fork last week. I was fishing the trophy catch and release section, and granted these were stocked fish, but there were some really big fish in there. And pulling out a chunky 15 or 16 inch rainbow in fast water like this with a 3-weight was a pretty fun fight. Unfortunately, it was late in the day, the GoPro battery was dead, and I didn't get any footage of me catching 2 big slabs like this, but I did pull out the camera to grab a quick picture. So this pattern, it's a simple little versatile streamer called the Don't Ask, created by Alice Deaver of Idaho, and it's a fun little tie. So there it is in the vise, a simple little wet fly streamer called the Don't Ask, created by Alice Deaver of Idaho. You'll notice it is kind of reminiscent of a carry special. I'm tying this on a size 10. This is a 3X long streamer hook. Let's go ahead and pinch that barb. And black thread. Just go ahead and catch it in somewhere here in the middle. You don't have to go all the way up front yet. Take it to the back and cut it off. Now, one of the only materials, just pheasant tail. Fibers from a pheasant tail feather. Doesn't even have to be good looking stuff, so just pull out, I don't know, 10 or so fibers right here. Maybe that's not 10, but I think that's going to be enough. I'm going to spin them around so they're unmarried a little bit. And I'm going to catch it in pretty long. So this is the tail. Okay. Go a little bit up. You don't have to go all the way up. I don't really want a thick body, so I'm going to go ahead and snip this off. But before I take my thread up front, just a little gold Mylar tinsel. I'm going to catch it in right back here. Gold side toward the hook because I want the gold showing when I flip it to wrap it. Now I will take my thread almost all the way up front. Not all the way because we've got some business going on up front, but I'm taking some orange wool yarn. Do it any color you want. This is 2 strands of a 4-strand yarn. And I got a little fuzz right there. Let's snip that so it's a cleaner tie-in point. And I'm catching it in up front just so I don't create an extra lump back here when I wrap it. And I'm only using 2 of the strands. I want a fairly thin body here. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. Now take our thread back up front. Not all the way. Remember, we've got some stuff going on up front. Now just go ahead and wrap this up, touch and turns, covering all that black thread underneath. Now let's wrap this rib up, and whatever you think looks good. This is a pretty thin one, so I'm going to put them pretty close together. If you had a thicker tinsel, you wouldn't need to put them as close together, I wouldn't think. But really up to you, depending on how much flash you want. And now we're just going to take maybe 3 more clumps from that pheasant tail. And I'm going to catch one on the top, almost as long as the tail fiber, so pretty long here. We'll catch it in kind of on the top, not real tight wraps because we're going to kind of let it spin around. And we're going to catch 3 in all together. So there's one right there. Let's go ahead and do another one kind of on the side right here. I suppose you could just do a big clump of these all at once and spin it around, but the book did say tie them in smaller chunks. Okay, so that's 2. Let's go, and those are spinning around. That's pretty good, kind of what I want. Now, where's a bare spot on the fly? I need to unmarry these a little bit. Catch these in right here. Okay, I don't have any really tight wraps on it yet, So I'm going to just kind of fluff these around, make sure I've got most all of the fly covered, and I think we do. Again, it's a pretty sparse little wet fly slash streamer. Now we can go in with some tight wraps and snip off this excess up front. Okay, got a little bit of a messy head there, but what we can do, just kind of push these back with your thumbnail and then take your thread right back behind the eye and ramp it up, build you a big old streamer head. Now I think we're ready to whip finish it. Now I can't envision needing much by way of cleanup on this thing. Just, you know, maybe try to fluff these fibers out a little bit. But really, I think that's about it. Just a drop of head cement and you've got a sleek little, not hair wing, but almost hair wing type streamer. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care and we'll see you next time.